guys, Casey with KK Fitness Training here, and I want to talk to you guys about some of the biggest fitness hurdles that I am hearing from clients and the struggles that they're having and how we're able to overcome those. And I hope that you guys are having a great day and that you find this information valuable. And as always, you can reach out to me if you have any questions, you want to set up a free consult, or you would like some personal training, or to get in on my next round of the Faster Way to Fat Loss. 6 weeks will change your life. So one of the biggest things is emotional eating. We eat when we're either bored or we're stressed or we're celebrating, and we celebrate a lot. Using food to cope with your emotions is not healthy. It is not good for your body. So finding other ways that you can celebrate. So maybe you go out and you do a round of golf, or if you're feeling stressed, go for a hike, go for a walk. Getting outside can really help get you distracted from food, and then also help you just be more active and feel better. And again, not have to worry about the food that's on your plate, or that you're going to overeat the food because you're feeling that set emotion. It is really easy. I am a boredom eater. I will eat to pass the time no matter where it is. And long car drives are the worst for me. So having healthy snacks, knowing that that is a problem of mine, and then also making sure that I am drinking my water and staying hydrated does help. And a lot of foods don't necessarily taste good with just plain water. If I have something super sweet, I'm going to want a drink, a soda, or a tea that is super sweet as well. So if I don't have the soda or tea, I know that the sweet food isn't going to taste as well either. And then also just setting unrealistic expectations. I get people all the time reaching out to me that are asking, hey, can I lose 40 pounds in 4 weeks? Not really, not healthily, not in a good way that's going to help your mind, help your body. You are just going to do more damage than good. So making sure that you're setting those SMART goals, the small, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Those things are going to make a huge difference. And 1 to 2 pounds for women, and then 2 to 3 pounds for men is on average per week what you should be losing to make it sustainable and make you be able to last long term in those goals. We also are looking to build muscle and lose fat. A pound of muscle is a lot smaller than a pound of fat. So it's not always about the number on the scale. It's how you look, how you feel. Those measurements, those photos are a lot more important than the scale. But make sure your expectations are realistic, and that you're doing what your trainer says, what your coach says. You are following their instructions to get the optimal fat loss that you can and achieve those goals. And again, if your goal is to gain muscle, then making sure that you're following your dietary restrictions, or the things that you need for that. Gaining muscle is the same as losing fat. You got strict nutrition guidelines, not too strict, but just things to fall into parameters of, and then making sure that you're doing the exercises and listening to your coach for all those things. It's super important. And you won't feel let down. You won't get devastated because you're not seeing results, and then you lack motivation. You don't want to move forward, and you just get so frustrated with the process. It will help keep you motivated if you listen to your coach and your trainer and you do what they say. Support. A lot of us don't have support at home, or we can't afford a coach or a trainer. So, relying on people that you can, finding those people that are going to help you with the goals. They may not have the same goals as you, but if they are just there to give you support. I have friends and clients that are trying to not have as much alcohol, or they're trying to just get outside and walk more, or they're dealing with some mental health issues. I check in with them. Just checking in with somebody daily can really help them stay on track with their goals. So maybe you can be that friend and that support system for someone else. and then maybe you can find someone to be that support system for you. I know there's sometimes when we're looking to go out to eat or we're looking at cooking dinner, and my husband will ask me what can fit in your macros that day. Sometimes I have done it to where, you know what, anything can fit. I have eaten on track. I've done good. As long as I don't go totally off the rails, I'm all set. And then sometimes it's, well, no, it really needs to be this because I've eaten most of my calorie intake for the day. I wasn't planning on an extra meal, so I really have to stay in my guidelines a little tighter for those kind of things. So having people that can support you and are not going to throw you off. If your people in your life are not for you, if they're going to be detrimental to those goals, then maybe they're not the best of friends or people that you need to be around a lot. Hate to say it, but we are who we surround ourselves with. So surrounding yourself with positive people that are going to help keep you on track is going to do a whole lot more for you than even paying for a trainer or a coach. That being said, trainers and coaches are amazing, and there are a lot of them out there in various price ranges. So if you are looking for someone, if you're needing someone to help hold you accountable, do your research. Find somebody that aligns with your goals, that has clientele that can back them up, and that will really help you reach them, whether it's virtually or in person. And a lot of my clients, it's the time. This is where I come in because I bring the gym to them. It's finding that time to get the workout in. And some people don't have the 20, 30 minutes to drive to the gym, do the workout, and the 20, 30 minutes drive home. Not to mention if you need to shower beforehand or any of that stuff. So scheduling time for yourself, even if it's 20 minutes in your bedroom of doing some stretches or 20 minutes of rhythmic breathing, using your diaphragm, contracting those abdominal muscles, all of that. Whatever you need to do, make sure you just find some time for it. It doesn't have to be in big increments. I have a few clients that I coach that they only have 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. So I send them 10-minute workouts, and they can do it as fast or as slow as they want, but the faster they go, the more repetitions they get in. So they are really just working 10 minutes at a time versus doing a whole chunk of 30 to 45 minutes in once. You find stuff that fits in your goals and getting moving, especially if you're in an office setting or a sedentary lifestyle, where you sit all the time. Getting up and getting moving, even just for 10 minutes at a time, can make a world of difference in your fitness goals. And then sleep. Oh, sleep is such a big one. And I have several clients that I can't go to bed on time, or it's hard for me to get up in the morning. I'm dragging throughout the day and I want to take a nap, but then I can't sleep at night. So this disrupts your hormones. So your cortisol is a hormone. It is a needed hormone. So people who have higher cortisol levels tend to have a harder time sleeping because their levels are all messed up. And it runs with the circadian rhythm of that's set in our bodies, that daylight to nighttime. So if you're a third shifter, you're going to have a struggle with this. It's really going to be harder for you to get get that sleep in, that quality of sleep. But making sure that you're trying to go to bed at the same time every day, get up at the same time every day, even if you don't fall asleep, even if you're a little tired and it's just so easy to hit that snooze button for another 15 minutes. Try to do it every day and your body will get into a better rhythm, because when your sleep is off, it is harder for your body to control those hormones that regulate your hunger and your appetite. So you're going to crave more sugars and you're going to tend to be hungry faster. A lot of people, they get up in the morning, they'll eat breakfast and I've been hungry all day, I've been eating all day, because it kickstarts metabolism. Those hormones regulate that. So your cortisol level gets really, really high mid-morning and then slowly starts to drop after lunch throughout the day. And then it gets really, really low about the time you're supposed to be going to sleep, to that midnight, 8 to midnight time frame. And that's when you're really getting your best sleep. It's a lot of times people wake up at 3 a.m. because that cortisol level is starting to rise. And that is the whole rhythm. So we need cortisol in our bodies, but we don't need too much of it. So if your body's always running high, it's going to disrupt your sleep, and you're going to have a harder time regulating your appetite and your hunger hormones. Then stress and anxiety, which makes those cortisol levels higher. It makes you feel like when you fall off the wagon and you're just stressed and you're anxious, or maybe you are eating because that emotional eating, you're eating because you're stressed and anxious. So trying to level out your stress and anxiety a little bit. And that's not easy to do. Take it from a person who I live with high anxiety. But you can find ways to control it. Getting outside, getting to grounding, which we'll talk about in a minute, and definitely making sure that you are getting that vitamin D from the sun. Eating healthier foods, foods high in vitamins and nutrients, and all of that will help with that. And maybe if you start just food journaling, just writing down everything you eat, don't track the macros, don't track the calories, just start writing down the food. You might realize when you eat certain foods, your anxiety or stress level increases. And so you stay away from them. I know personally for me, when I eat out more and I eat a lot of high fat foods and overly processed foods, my anxiety goes through the roof and it is hard to control. So I'm very mindful of that. With my son, it's milk and dairy. He can't handle the extra hormones. So when he has a lot of milk and dairy, his anxiety gets higher, his stress gets higher. He has a harder time controlling his emotions. So finding what may be your trigger to really help you with that stress and anxiety, and then doing things to help. Working out can help relieve stress and anxiety. One of my favorite shirts says the gym is my therapy. Working out can really help you lower those cortisol levels and get back on track and not feel so stressed and anxious throughout your day. And then everything leads up to just making sure your hormones are balanced. Right now, our world, we tend to live in fight or flight almost all the time for whatever reason, because we're just stressing ourselves out over things that don't really matter in this life, but we feel like they do. So making sure that you are getting regular blood work, you're talking with your doctor. Things may be optimal, but they may be normal, but they may not be optimal for you. So making sure that you know what you need to be on track. And if things feel off, talk to your doctor. Let them listen. And if they don't, go get a second opinion. If you feel off, there usually is something else going on. And it could be as easy as just a little bit of hormone replacement therapy, or it could be even more that maybe you have high metals in your system, or that your thyroid is off, or there's something else, there's an autoimmune thing going on, which exercise and nutrition can help with those. But getting to know where you're at and what you're battling against makes all the difference in how you deal with those on a day-to-day basis. And then getting back into, like, if you have a more sedentary lifestyle. So doing just, if you sit for 30 minutes, getting up and moving for 3. If you're going to sit for 3 hours or more, get up and move for 30. Making sure that you're up and moving, whether it's at a walking, I have a walking pad that when I do my morning Bible study, I am on my walking pad, getting a walk in as well, getting outside, getting vitamin D, just being active in some way can really help boost that self-esteem, boost the confidence level, make you feel better. It doesn't have to be super hard workouts. And if your life tends to be more sedentary, make it harder for you to sit down when you get home. If your work life has to be more sit still, be more active when you're at home. Maybe get an exercise ball to sit on, a stability ball, or a walking pad to watch TV with, or something just to keep you moving, because those couches look super comfy, but we all know once you sit down in it, you're probably not getting back up unless you absolutely have to. So making it more difficult for you just to get in that comfort area. And most people go, I don't have the energy for that. I'm so tired after work. Be surprised. Once you start, your energy levels will go up. and you will feel better and you will want to do it more. Your body will crave the movement because that's what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to be bodies in motion. We are not supposed to be sitting still for as long as we do. And then the biggest hurdle, the hardest one for everyone to grasp, not joking, all of my clients, is nutrition. It is hard to find affordable food that's appealing to you. Healthy food is difficult to cook, or you don't know, or you're just confused about what macros are and how to fit those in, because it's not all about the calories. It's about the quality of the calories that you're getting in. 1,000 calories of broccoli looks totally different than 1,000 calories of Oreo cookies. All right, so healthy food is harder and not hard to find in the grocery store. The more you do it, the more you'll realize shopping the outside of the grocery store is where most of your food's going to come from, if not all of it. There's very few foods I go down the middle of the aisle for. And sometimes it is a little faster and easier snacks for the kids, like some granola bars, or it's the baking out. I need avocado oil or something along those lines. So it doesn't have to be hard. It's just knowing where to start. And so getting with a coach or a nutritionist can really help you dial in how to cook. And there's a lot of great recipe books out there. Jamie Oliver has a couple that's like 30 minutes and 5 ingredients or less. I mean, super easy. It does not have to be this whole big production of trying to cook a meal. And even easy food, even going out to eat or mac and cheese, takes 20 minutes to 30 minutes to cook and get to the table. So you find your hard, you find your easy. Maybe you cook once and eat all week. So if you're going to cook chicken, you cook several different things of chicken. You season it a little differently, or you don't season it at all, so you can put it in other things with seasons. And you eat it in different ways. Ground beef, we do that at home. I'll cook up the whole thing of it, and then we'll use it throughout the week in different meals and different things. Finding what works best for you and leaning into a coach, a nutritionist, a trainer, somebody who has a nutrition background can really help you dial in that nutrition. And I've said it before, I mean, the food in the grocery store that screams the loudest at us is usually not the healthiest. The ones that tote they have all these vitamins and all these nutrients. You don't see the berries in the grocery store having all these labels on them about all the vitamins they carry. You don't see the ground beef having all the things that it has and the good things it has, the creatine and the iron and all of that that's great for you, the high protein. You don't see that. It's the box items, the middle of the grocery store, the items that those things have to be infused with the vitamins and nutrients, or they just have to be put on there to get people to go, oh, look, I need vitamin D. This says it has vitamin D in it. Let's grab that. Not realizing that it probably has super high sugars or added fats and things that you don't need, and it's hard for your body to process. I have a few clients dealing with autoimmune diseases, PCOS, hypothyroidism, all of that. And, sometimes you need the medication, and that's okay. A lot of times you can decrease the medication or even get off the medication with the proper nutrition and exercise. So for PCOS, a low glycemic diet, so foods that are very low on the glycemic index, that's the sugar index for layman's terms. So berries and not high in gluten, those kind of things, not a lot of sugars and all that is going to be beneficial for them because it helps with their insulin levels. So PCOS is kind of like a diabetes thing. You have to really watch those sugars. High fiber can help slow the digestion so your blood sugar doesn't spike. Those are great things for PCOS. So leaning into the right nutrition for these things. Hypothyroidism, so it's resistance training and high intensity training helps with that, helps with its insulin sensitivity issues. And exercise can help with your hormone cycle, and inflammation, and just helping build lean muscle for your body to process things out properly. And all of them can help with your mood and your metabolism as well. So with your most people don't realize, like, thyroid, they produce hormones. So when people have thyroids removed and things like that, like, it's going to affect their hormones. So they produce hormones that regulate your metabolism. So when it's off, then your body's going to, those hunger and appetite hormones are going to be off as well. And how it also tells your body how to use things for energy. So T3 and T4 are the biggest hormones for that. And they help with your heart rate, regulate temperature, your digestion, and your mood. So we really want to keep the thyroid protected, and eating the right foods, even if you don't have those issues. Eating the right foods can help eliminate that. More and more women are coming up with autoimmune diseases, and usually autoimmune diseases are triggered by trauma, and trauma can be everything from giving childbirth to having some sort of surgical or something going on. So any trauma can lead to these autoimmune diseases, and so finding out how to get ahead of it before it even happens to you, because most likely you're going to have somebody in your life, if not you, that is going to come up with an autoimmune disease. And so knowing how to help your body and eat right and exercise to keep your body in prime optimal health. So if something comes up, you are already on top of it and you are already doing better for it. One more thing to talk about. All right. And then the last thing I want to talk about is grounding. I have been doing this for a couple years, off and on. I'm trying to get back into doing it more regularly, but connecting you with the earth. So getting your feet in the grass, getting your feet connected to the earth can really, really help with your circadian rhythm, with your cortisol levels, with all of those hormones and all of those things. And it's the magnetic field in the earth, just it helps pull you in. It can reduce your inflammation and stress, improve your circulatory system, your sleep, enhance your immune system, can help with all of that. So trying to get outside when the sun is rising and when the sun is setting. Now, a lot of people do not like to be up that early. And I hear in a lot of our networking events, people are like, what? There's two 6 a.m.s? Yes. Or 6 o'clocks. Yes, there is. There's two of them. Getting up, even if you're just outside in your PJs, bare feet in the ground, watching that sunrise, watching the sunset, tells your brain, oh, it's time to be up. It's time to get ready for bed. Getting your feet in the grass. Now, they do have various ways that you can buy if you can't get outside. Grounding mats, sheets, there's even mattress pads, grounding socks, grounding shoes, a patch, all of they have various things that can help you with grounding. The best thing, the free thing, is to get outside and get your feet in the grass. 1 hour of contact with the earth has been proven to help blood flow, blood pressure, lower your nighttime levels of cortisol, so you're getting better sleep. It can, in grounding, there's new studies coming out showing that it impacts the thyroid hormone levels when you do grounding at night. So when you're seeing that sunset, it helps with those thyroid hormone levels. So getting outside, getting your feet in the grass, getting your shoes off, and just feeling the earth. Now, if some people have sensory issues, and that's not something that they can physically do. So maybe you look into a grounding mat or grounding sheets. Maybe those help you. Maybe you can just find a barren dirt path that doesn't have the grass that you can put your feet on. But all of that can help you with those hormones, feel better, better sleep, better mood, all of those things as well. I know I always feel better when I'm outside watching, when I get to see the sunrise, and I almost always get to see the sunset, but seeing that sunrise versus being in my office or in a space that doesn't have a lot of sunlight and missing it. I just get more energy in seeing the sunrise. And another great thing you can do that most gyms have, and if you're a gym member, it's free to use generally, is a sauna. So a sauna can help you sweat out microplastics and small amounts of metals that may be building up in your body, from lead to arsenic and mercury, various metals that your body can sweat out to help keep those levels down, because we're ingesting more microplastics and metals than we even realize. So get out, get sweating, get in a sauna, and get your feet in the grass. That is my little tidbits for today. I hope you guys found some of this interesting and learned something new today. Again, if you would love to join me on my next 6-week Fast Away to Fat Loss round, send me a message. I would be happy to get you in with that. You can find me at kkfitnesstraining@gmail.com and on Facebook, KK Fitness Training on Instagram and Facebook and all the socials. I have a website coming soon, so be ready for that. And if you would love some in-person training, if you're in the Middle Tennessee area, then hit me up and I will give you all my rates and what that looks like. Eat well, and I will hopefully talk to you guys later. I'm done.